Looking back at my preliminary piece and comparing it to my final piece. Here is my preliminary magazine cover. We had to create a cover and a contents page for a college magazine. Conventions most noticeable that I have used are a masthead and cover lines. This was before I had properly researched magazine conventions, so this cover reflects my more basic knowledge. This is my contents page. I try to keep the continuity with the colour scheme and font. I feel the contents could have been laid out better by using more space and reducing the size of the opening letter to the reader, as this is not the priority of the page. The photos used are my own, however I feel the quality of the page could have been improved if I had taken photos especially for this page. This is my final cover. I feel that the colour scheme works better and is more sophisticated than my preliminary. I have used more conventions on this cover, such as a cell line, banner and extra diegetic gaze from my main photo. I feel I have learnt from my contents page and prioritised the contents instead of the letter. I have continued the house style by using the same font, colour and size, etc. I feel I have also shown continuity by using another photo of the cover artist, which develops the idea that this issue is orientated towards this artist in particular. On my double page spread I have come slightly away from my colour scheme, however I have kept the font on the front cover for this artist's cover line. I have used extra diegetic gaze again to engage more with the reader. I have also included other more varied photos of the artist to create interest for the reader and to include variation on the page. I have used a pull quote and captions to also add interest to the page and try and convince the reader to read the whole article. For my final pages, I had a photo shoot so that I could get exactly the photos I wanted, unlike my preliminary, and make it more professional looking. These are the photos I considered using for my main image on my cover. All mostly include some form of eye contact and a plain background to draw all attention to the artist. These are the photos I considered using for my double page spread. I liked that these ones were different to my main cover image and added depth because of the background, which could contribute to the main story and make it more appealing to the audience. I based many of the decisions made on the results of my reader survey. This was a survey that asked what people liked in magazines. This helped me understand the conventions of a magazine that people, especially members of my target audience, like the most. This included conventions like the cover lines, the photos, the colours, and how much it would cost. These are examples of my questionnaires. I also asked what name they would prefer so that I could make sure that it definitely appealed to my audience. I think knowing that my audience preferences really helped me improve from my preliminary. From looking at magazine covers such as NME, I began to notice a few conventions that my preliminary didn't have, and I learnt their effect on the cover and to the magazine brand as a whole. This made me think how I could incorporate them into my own covers. This is one of the covers I have looked at. My full analysis is on my blog. Compared to my knowledge when making my preliminary magazine, my knowledge has expanded and I have taken more conventions into consideration when making my magazine, such as a cell line, which I didn't have before. I liked how NME had theirs underneath the masthead, so I thought I would put mine underneath too, as I felt this looked professional. My cell line was "This week's must listen." I also made my cover lines stand out more and varied their positions, unlike my preliminary. I also learnt from feedback that I should use these conventions to make my cover more eye-catching. I have used more interesting colours that are more appropriate and appealing to my audience, like the pink used. Overall, I feel from gaining a more detailed knowledge of magazine conventions throughout this course that I've been able to produce a more sophisticated, professional-looking and eye-catching piece of work, which the quality has improved since creating my preliminary piece.